Today, Mom and I went to Wegmans at around 3:30 p.m. in order to do some grocery shopping. This sparkling ice beverage, it wasn't one of the ones that I got during that grocery shopping trip because I remember I picked out 3 black raspberry flavored ones along with 3 lemon lime flavored sparkling ice beverages. Though I did pick out this sushi pack toward the end of the trip. Along with the one I had for lunch. When we got back from Wegmans. I had concerns that some of what we got, such as the sushi or the salads, would spoil because toward the very end, I wasn't interested in the sushi family packs they had, so I ended up, a worker approached me, and I asked them, they asked what they could do for me, essentially, and I ended up requesting to make a family pack of Crunchyroll sushi pieces. It took her about 10 minutes, time I spent having a conversation with Mom. We had gotten also some supplies such as scallops and shrimp in order to make a seafood broil tomorrow. I think these onions are part of those supplies that we got today for tomorrow's planned seafood broil. There's also these sauces that we could potentially use to season the seafood broil. These are sauces that Mom got from the Man Crates company on Christmas, or at least for Christmas. The salads I got were 2 large garden salads and a chef salad. I in particular chose one chef salad due to it containing more stuff with healthy fats compared to the garden salad. I also got a thing of, if I recall correctly, it's by the company Smart Juice. It was a 1 liter glass bottle of juice that I think consisted of pomegranate and blueberry juice. The flavor name was Antioxidant Power, if I recall correctly. The first one I got, we put into that little pull-out tray they have on shopping carts that you typically put a purse in. Only for that container area, while Mom put her purse in it, we also generally put the small beverages we got, which included that 1 liter glass bottle. I accidentally knocked it out while loading one of the reusable Wegmans bags. Their material is closest to a tote bag, but those reusable bags are shaped differently from tote bags. We had 3 generally blue regular Wegmans bags and 1 orange one that was Halloween themed. The 1 liter glass bottle shattered all over the asphalt/pavement of the parking lot area. We were toward the end of the parking lot that goes into the driveway. I thought about alerting the Wegmans staff of the newly accidentally created hazard of broken glass, which needed to immediately be taken care of, since that could cut a person's foot, and I think that broken glass can also damage a car tire. Although Mom ended up picking the pieces up with her bare hands. Luckily, she was alright after doing that, and I looked carefully along with her to make sure we got every single glass shard, down to the smallest of them. She put the glass shards into a paper bag, and she then drove me to the very end of the parking lot that leads into the Wegmans inside of it. I took the... Mom thought about me initially disposing of the glass shards in one of the Wegmans disposal units, such as the one for mixed recyclables, most likely. But I decided to take it to the customer service desk because broken glass shards needs to be treated with quite a bit of care. I didn't want a worker at Wegmans to have any chance of accidentally cutting up one of their hands on those broken glass shards. And Mom gave me a $10 bill, and I went and bought a replacement 1-liter glass bottle of that antioxidant power smart juice. Prior to going to the mid-afternoon Wegmans shopping trip, I worked on the latest styrofoam drawing project. By coloring in if I recall correctly, I finished coloring in the boots / dress shoes, though I think at this point boots would make more sense. And then I colored in the hat. I first drew in on the front and using a red Sharpie marker text that said Axolotl. It's supposed to mean jaguar in the Aztec language. I tried translating jaguar into Spanish, and the Bing translator ended up kind of freaking out, so that makes me assume there's no Spanish word for jaguar. It's essentially the same as ocelot, but with an extra L at the end, and the E and the second O are accented in this kind of weird way, seemingly with a bar on top of the letter. I then colored the hat entirely yellow, outside of whatever parts I outlined. using a black Sharpie marker on an earlier day. Then I used a black Sharpie marker and a metallic gold Sharpie marker in order to create jaguar patterning on all sides of the hat. Consisting of spots depending on how much space I had that were either simply black or had a metallic gold center before having black on the side around the circumference of the metallic gold center. After getting back from the Wegmans shopping trip, I think this was more around, we got back around maybe 4:40 p.m. I helped Mom with putting away the groceries after taking out the trash. After, I think I did that before we went on the shopping trip, throwing away a package of, by this point, rotten fruit. It was after the Wegmans shopping trip, right as soon as we got back and were putting away the groceries, that I took out the trash. By the looks of things, I could have waited longer, but I decided not to because of the rotten fruit, concerned that it would create bad odors within the kitchen and dining room areas. And because of the rotten fruit, I threw away the garbage bag in its entirety, rather than simply dumping the contents in the garbage bag into that big garbage bin with wheels on it on the bottom, and then reusing the garbage bag. Yeah, which, if I recall, is what I typically do. I ended up having the sushi for lunch around 5 p.m. And then I think it was primarily around 7 p.m. when I colored in the belt of the styrofoam drawing with the decision to make a snakeskin pattern. I first used a sort of light peach colored Sharpie marker. It could maybe be described as beige. And before I then went and used a brown Sharpie marker and then some blending within the areas created using the brown Sharpie marker. Using that same beige, light peach colored Sharpie marker I used earlier in order to darken the area within those brown Sharpie marker lined areas. Then I used a sort of, the first thing that came to mind was burnt orange. I don't think that's correct though. It's more of a sort of reddish peach. It's a darker shade of peach. And I colored the areas around the circumference of those brown lined areas, only I left a gap to preserve some of the original light peach slash beige colored areas. Then whenever I had space, I used that same brown Sharpie marker in order to create both brown spots and curved lines that would come out from either the top or from the bottom, while the spots would be somewhere between the top and bottom edges of the belt. And then finally I used an ultra-fine brown Sharpie marker in order to create a scale pattern. Smaller within the brown lined areas and larger toward the top and bottom of the belt. Also, by the time I had gotten that second 1 liter glass bottle of antioxidant power smart juice, either I had forgotten where Mom's car was, where she had dropped me off. She told me that she was near 2 red cars. So when I didn't initially see Mom's car, for some reason I don't have a very vivid picture of it in my mind. I know it's dark gray though. But I didn't end up recognizing Mom's car. So I tried looking for it, and when I found what I thought were the two red cars Mom was referring to in about the middle of that parking lot toward the end that heads into the Wegmans, after a few minutes, I figured she had moved the car trying to look for me, and I was just about ready to walk home with the bottle of antioxidant power smart juice in my hands, and I was also holding what was 4 $1 bills at a penny after being given change after paying for the new bottle of antioxidant power smart juice. Though within a minute of me making that decision to just walk home and hopefully contact my mom when I got home, she ended up finding me. I had had concerns that she would end up calling the police if as she had not heard from me at that point for too long. I ended up leaving my phone in the car when I made that sort of return trip to get a replacement 1-liter glass bottle of antioxidant power smart juice. Also, right before we left for that Wegmans grocery shopping trip, I drew a red oval outline on the front of and the middle of the new styrofoam drawing shirt in preparation for what will be an attempt at drawing that emblem they have for the flag of Costa Rica, or Costa, it's Costa Rica. Costa Rica? I have a plan of making the shirt look like the flag of Costa Rica. Maybe I'll just do the emblem and make the rest gray. Or maybe I'll make the middle red and the sides blue. As for the vest, I'm not 100% sure to do for that. And maybe I'll draw in a revolver on the styrofoam drawing, the front of it at some point.